Okay, I think we've got everybody back. So, welcome back. I'm going to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. It's 8:29 p.m. Are there any disclosures of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, as I had mentioned earlier this evening, we have no delegations on the agenda this evening. So I'm going to move on to item 4, the consent agenda. Items listed under the consent agenda are considered collectively as one motion. Council members may request that specific items be removed for separate discussion, deliberation, or action. Would anyone like to remove any of the items listed under item 4 for further consideration? Seeing none, can I get a mover and seconder? Moved by Councillor Collins, seconded by Deputy Mayor Attridge. All in favor? Thank you, and that is passed. As we move into our regular standing committees, normally I would turn it over to the chairs of the standing committees to chair their meetings, beginning with Councillor Mink.
Thank you. Thank you. So corporate services is open. I have no staff reports and I have no new business. Is there any new business from council? No. All right. So I will pass it. I'll close corporate services and pass it over to Councillor Andrews.
And moving right along, finance is open, staff reports none, new business none. Is there any business that council has of finance? Seeing none, I will move it over to our deputy mayor.
Thank you very much. And planning and development is open. We have one staff report, which is 7.1.1, which is PD 45-23. And I'm going to call upon Andrew. Are you going to speak to this one? No, Todd, you're going to? Great. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor and members of council. I just have a really brief introduction to this report. This is we're coming forward tonight to seek final endorsement on the Economic Development Strategic Plan and its implementation plan. I have a couple of comments to make with regards to this. This isn't a new document. Certainly the strategic plan shouldn't be a new document for all of you. We brought this forward to you in the summer with the hopes of bringing it to you to fruition in the fall. We're a little later than fall, I recognize that. What I will say, just a couple of highlights from the plan and its implementation plan. The Economic Development Strategic Plan outlines pretty clearly, as I am not doing now, 7 goals that we wish to accomplish over the life of this plan on an 8 to 10 year horizon. It included the implementation includes 48 action items, and it has a total cost of implementation, not including staff resources, $575,000. And I know that finances are tight, and I know you talked about it, but I foresee the implementation of a significant strategy document at less than just over $500,000 over the course of 8 years as a win for this organization and this community. I would also like to point out that the implementation plan, which is a large and unwieldy document, we took the liberty of printing, I think, it for members of council. Both the strategy in an AODA compliant form will be available on our website in very short order if you endorse it tonight. And the implementation plan takes those 7 goals and links those 48 actions to them. It outlines those that are responsible for that portion of the implementation, and I can say very affirmatively that our team reached out to every single lead and contributing member that we have expectations of for this implementation plan and receive feedback from every single one of them. And that's why we didn't bring this forward to you before we had commitments from every single person required to help us implement this. The implementation also includes time frame, and it also identifies performance measures that we will know when we succeed. I'm very pleased and proud to bring this to you today, and I would like to acknowledge both my team in the economic development side of our division, Andrew Wallen, the manager, and Meg Ronson, our new coordinator. This would not have been possible without the hard and diligent work that they put forward. We certainly used a consultant to do a lot of the community consultation in the early stages of this strategy, and we had them also author the strategy. However, the one thing that they did not do that we did internally was, because we recognize that we would own it, is develop the implementation plan. And so I just want to acknowledge the hard work that they put in on that tonight. that certainly summarizes really what I have to say. I mean, I have some comments that we received from the public that we addressed as was required in the report, but I'm certainly happy to take any questions or comments you may have tonight regarding the plan.
Thanks very much. I'd like to add some comments to that as well. Congratulations to the planning and development team. You know, we've often sat up here on a number of occasions and talked about the importance of economic development and how we need to diversify our tax base. And certainly, you know, that commentary came through again tonight, right? We need to keep looking at how we're going to grow Port Hope so that we can relieve the pressure that's on the taxpayer. I think the plan is outstanding. It really demonstrates the quality that we have in the economic development team. I, for one, was very pleased with the implementation plan. It's robust. It has measurables. It has targets. It's laid out. I think it's a really well done document. So congratulations to that entire team. Yeah, Mayor.
I almost feel like a round of applause is needed. I want to echo everything that the deputy mayor has said. I think it'd be a wonderful standard for us to follow for our strategic plan documents, especially around the metrics, the roles and responsibilities. And I mean, I know this is a little antithetical to what I was saying a bit earlier this evening, but seems like we're getting a lot for a little in terms of the cost that you're proposing, and how important it is that you've got such broad buy-in for it, and just to say thank you, because this is so critical to the financial health and future of our community.
Wonderful. Thanks very much, Councillor Adam.
Thank you. So I'm going to go back to something that my good friend over there, Councillor Les, said a long time ago. I think this report has more holes in it than Swiss cheese. No, I'm just kidding. I just wanted to see what the reaction would be. You guys did a great job. I can't thank you enough for all the hard work. Thanks.
May I rebut?
Yeah.
You filled the holes in. The plan is very, very good. It's the old knowing and doing. It's not enough to know what to do. It's actually doing it. And we've done the first step, which is to create the plan that we can implement, and it's very well laid out. So I retract my statement.
Councillor Mink.
Thank you. So just to echo what's been said so far, and I also really appreciate reading through it. I opened it up ready to have a critical mindset and find those holes. And I was really appreciative when I saw the timeline and the thought that put into that, identifying the land first, because without land, there's nowhere for the businesses to go, and identifying the policies and procedures to allow businesses to build and come here. And just that thought that was put in, it wasn't just things thrown out there, but there was very clear due diligence into how this is going to roll out so that it is achievable. So I really appreciate that time and effort that was put into that, and it's something that's achievable, and I look forward to it. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Any other comments before we call? Yeah, let's do yeah, it's really well done. So we'll call it the recommended action is that a resolution be presented to council to approve in principle the economic development strategic plan and the company implementation plan. Take a mover and seconder on that. Right, that went really fast. Moved by Councillor Adams, seconded by, Mayor Elena, and then all in favor. Great. Thanks very much. Moving on to 7.2, new business. We have no new business. Any new business for planning and development from council? All right, then seeing none, planning and development is closed. Moving to Parks, Rec, and Culture with Councillor Adam.
Thank you. Parks, Recreation, and Culture is open, and we have no staff reports and no new business. So unless any council has any new business for us, I see none. We are closed and moving over to Councillor Clare.
We also have no staff reports or any new business unless there's any new business from the table. Seeing none, pass it over to Councillor.
Thanks, Councillor Kerr. Protective Services open, staff reports. We do have one, 10.1.1, Director Williams.
Thank you, Chair. In 2022, the Fire Master Plan for Municipality of Port Hope was created and approved by Council. One of the recommendations made in the Fire Master Plan was a requirement to review and update bylaws related to the fire service. As part of Port Hope Fire and Emergency Services' dedication to the continuation of providing effective and efficient emergency service to our municipality, the open air burning bylaw, as well as the permitting system, was reviewed and identified the requirement to be updated to reflect current needs of the community and the fire service. The updated bylaw clearly identifies 3 types of open air burning permits which would be available to residents, being recreational, brush pile, and land clearing. The updated bylaw also includes the provisions to allow open air burning in urban area of municipality, which have been sought by many members of the community. Open air burning will be permitted in the urban area under a variety of conditions. In conjunction with the implementation of the new open air burning bylaw, we've also updated the burn permitting system, which we will be transitioning from an in-person paper-based model to an online electronic permitting system. The system is utilized throughout Ontario and Northumberland County by municipal fire services to administer its open air burn permits, and there will be no fees associated with the permits for our residents. A public education campaign will be initiated as part of the implementation of the new open air burning bylaw and electronic permitting system. Information will be shared with residents on municipal website, social media, and in-person events held by members of Port Hope Fire and Emergency Services in our community. Pleased to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Chair Williams. And I believe we may have some questions from council. Councilor Fink.
Thank you. So first, I want to say thank you. I know on behalf of the rural community, especially, fires is a common way of life for many residents out there. If I'm going to speak the truth, I know that there's a lot more fires than happen than permits that are applied for right now. So hopefully we will be able to get support and compliance with this new bylaw. And I understand you are going to be having more information coming forward, but just some of the initial first questions that I have, if you can answer. The new system, it will be an online process to get the burn permit, but then from there, would they call in on a regular basis when they want to have a fire, or is that something they could do online, or how would they proceed with that?
No, and thank you, through the chair, thank you for the question. The system burnpermit.com is a very flexible system that will allow notification to the fire service before burning, either online or you can contact the fire department by phone. So there's both options.
Thank you. And so 2 more questions. We've discussed this before. Other communities often have those signs when you're coming into the community that talk about whether there's a burn ban or whatever. Is there any thought on having that here?
Thank you. There has been no discussion in relation to the signage. I know it has been brought up previously. As of right now, that hasn't been brought to my attention and isn't been identified as a priority by members of the fire service.
Thank you. And the last question, and maybe you can't answer this, but in the report, it talked about clean wood in the urban area. It just kind of triggered a thought that we do have beetles, viruses, and so on. Has there been any thought put into if that becomes a problem in our community, that could wipe out our urban tree canopy very, very quickly if unclean wood is brought specifically into the urban area? Has there been any thought, or will there be thought on how to control that? Like, would it be a ban? Would that ban apply everywhere, just the urban area? We don't have a tree committee anymore that would kind of be on top of that. So is there any thought process behind that?
Through the chair, thank you. In relation to clean wood being the only fuel source, really that was just, that doesn't speak to any type of insect infestation or that. That provision for the bylaw was placed in there to ensure that folks were not burning such items as tires and garbage and sofas, right? So we want to identify a clean fuel source to allow those folks in the urban area of our municipality to be able to have fires under certain provisions. So there were no considerations based on transportation of firewood from other areas or infestation of firewood in drafting of this particular bylaw.
Okay, thank you. And maybe that's something that could come to our environmental committee or something that we could consider in the future, because I think that might be something we should proactively think about. May never happen, but it would be good to be prepared.
Thank you, Councilor Mink. Any other questions? Seeing none. Thank you. Can I have a mover that a bylaw be presented by council to approve the open air burning regulation for the municipality of Port Hope? Councillor Adam, second by Councillor Clare. All in favor? Carried. Any new business from council? There's none on board, none. Back to Madam Mayor.
Well, I think we might be breaking some records this evening. We're going to move on to question period. But before we do, I failed to thank the Wellness and Social Committee for the printing of this wonderful Food for Thought, a collection of staff favorite recipes. I, in particular, note the some of the beverage alternatives to the more expensive versions that we can purchase in this community, which I very much appreciate, and a lot of the vegetarian options. But what a wonderful, wonderful idea, and lovely to find this at the council table. Okay, so now we're moving on to question period, and please remember, question period is for questions. Questions are to be directed to council, and we ask that you identify your name and ensure the purple button is pushed and the mic is on before proceeding. So as always, I'll start at the council table. Any questions from councillors? Seeing none, our media has left, and I was thrilled though to get a question. That was great. And now from the residents, anybody left in the audience that would like to come up and ask a question? Okay, seeing none, then it is, this concludes our business to be covered on today's agenda. We've reached the end of our agenda, and I'm in a position to adjourn at 8:45 p.m. Thank you very much.